Hi guys, Tim again with Real Southern Exposure. Welcome to another episode. What we're planning on doing today is we got to cut up some 2x10, 12 foot. The log that we're going to use is a pretty old log. It was struck by lightning and knocked down during a tornado shortly after that. This log has been drying for quite some time. And I ended up taking it off to people's property probably about 4 or 5 months ago. So, with that said, let me go ahead and show it to you. Okay, as you can see, we have a little bit of checking down here on the end. This is a pine log. It's been sitting out in the weather for quite some time. Down here on the large end is about 18 inches in diameter, and on the smaller end it's roughly around 16 and a half inches in diameter. All up and down this log there is a lot of carpenter bee holes in this. You can see one of them right here, and I imagine there's probably going to be maybe some termites or carpenter ants in this as well. Does it really matter? No, because this log right here is destined to become a one of the boards in a raised bed. So this is a male log. There's quite a bit of stubs coming off of this and limbs. I should have already hacked them off with a chainsaw, but in a haste to get this thing on the deck, it is what it is. So I tell you what, let's get this thing loaded up. So do me a favor, grab yourself a glass of sweet tea, kick back, relax, take in a little bit more southern exposure. Let's do it. Alright, now that we ended up getting a log up here on the mill, we got her all chalked up and everything, she's ready to go. First cut that we're going to make, we're going to end up taking all these little nubbies off and keep spinning it until we get them all off. Once we get them all off, then we'll start going ahead cutting into it to see what we can get out of it. So let's go ahead and get to it. Alright, now we got the big gnarly limbs off. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, probably take one slab cut off of here and then a second slab cut off of here to start getting this thing down to the width that we want, which is about 9.5 inches, 9 5/8. And then we'll roll this 180 degrees, get it down to our finished width, stand it up and start cutting some boards out. Let's do that now. Okay, now that that's done, let's go ahead and take a look at the 4 boards that we just cut. Now keep in mind, this log has been on the ground for a very long time, and it is pine. Pine doesn't last long whenever it's in continuous ground contact without being treated. This log was also struck by lightning, and it was blown down in a tornado. They can treat these boards, and we're just going to use them for planting beds inside of a garden. So let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, so as you can see, we got a little bit of denim staining. We got some carpenter ant holes, some termite holes in there. Blades are doing really good on this stuff because it's not really that hard of wood, other than whenever you get to the knotty areas. And we got some that right there looks kind of like pine beetle borers. And going on up, not that bad. Okay, now we're starting to get beyond the insect damage. Boards are looking really good. Good straight cuts. Nice cathedrals, and the smell of pine is amazing. Okay, these boards are looking good. Got a little bit of insect damage right here inside of this corner, and that's because it's on the end of the log here. However, once you end up traveling up, I mean, this stuff is looking very nice. We have a little bit of blade chatter right here, and that's because we're passing through a relatively large knot. Going on up, boards looking outstanding. Little tiny bit of blade chatter right here in this spot, and the rest of this board is looking fantabulous with a little bit of chatter right here as it starts to perk up into one of those other massive knots. Alright, so now that we ended up getting that log done, let's go ahead and look at the other 4 boards we ended up getting out of it. Alright, we got a lot. This is the top board, the one that's closest to the outside. We already knew that this one was going to have the most amount of damage done to it. We got a lot of pine beetle holes and carpenter ants. Alright, and the next one, which is board number 5 or 6. Yeah, board number 6. Anyway, alright, so we got some carpenter ant holes in it. Nice, good, clean cuts. A couple little bad spots. It ain't that bad though. And this is going to be board number 8 out of what we got. We got a little bit of fat lighter going on right here. Some decent sized knots, denim staining, a lot of carpenter ant holes. All in all, it really ain't that bad for what we're going to use it for. Okay, so all in all, I think all the boards that we ended up cutting turned out pretty daggum good. They're going to be even better once I get all these boxes made for these raised beds in this garden. So whenever we end up doing that, what I'm going to end up doing is putting a half by half mesh, welded mesh on the bottom of these boxes. And what that's going to do is it's going to stop any pests or varmints from coming up underneath to get to the plants. At the same time, it's going to be big enough to where if the plants do happen to get down that far, it will allow the plant's roots to pass through with no problem. So now that I got these cut, got them stacked off, got them banded up, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to treat them, and then start putting together the planter box. So, with that said, I hope this video has been educational. I hope you learned something from it. Hope you like it. And if you would, please go ahead and give us a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you on the next video. God bless.